Do you remember when how it was your first show?
Doing stand-up?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I remember
was
it
it?
very well.
How was it?
It was great.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you have a good opening.
Oh, yeah. My first set was awesome. And I think a lot of people's are. I think first sets, like I'd say this to people a lot and they always think I'm bullshitting, but I think your first time is kind of easy.
Okay.
Right? There's like this magic happening there, and you've probably really gotten ready to do it, and people can tell like something special, but just like chemically, it's like I don't know what the magic is, and especially if someone's if the host brings you up and says it's your first time, I think that can people are like,
helps.
wow, okay, well that was actually pretty good, or their expectations been worse. And I don't know what happened, but I've seen so many people and I want to be very clear, I was not naturally gifted or talented. My second time was terrible. Oh yeah, like it was brutal. I wish I had a tape of this. I remember just kind of like I kept like pulling clothes off, like I was like,
you were sweating so much.
What's going on?
Why those lights are so bright?
Oh, they were too. They were. Like the first place, it was very evenly lit,
Yeah.
And I remember afterwards, it was this show called We Are Not Commused, which it was amazing. It was like a foundation of comedy. One of the few shows that really like all of the English comedy and independent comedy scene kind of blossomed from that show and also the stuff that Neil was producing back then, and also the place where I started, which was called Buzz Club. And that was a mixed mic. It was like you would sometimes be following like a poet or
really?
or a singer-songwriter, or performance
just
artist.
Go there and say something.
And then the stand-up would go, and that actually was great because it was like, it was very freeing and supportive, and it was like again like this little corner on a Sunday night where like people helped each other out, it made them feel good, and like, oh, it's your first time, we'll make sure it goes well for you.
Nice.
Tim brought me up, Tim Whalen. I mean, I still like, it's amazing how many of these people, to some extent, I'm still know and I'm in contact with, and but yeah, he brought me up, and that first time it was great. The second time, brutal. Oh yeah, I was confused, and I'm not sure how things would have gone after that, but I remember leaving, and I probably didn't look happy. Caroline Clifford, who is an incredibly funny comedian, anyone who wants to do stand-up, she teaches a course on it.
Okay.
And everyone who finishes her course that I've ever seen comes out like ready to get on stage.
Okay.
Right? They go and they do their class does a show, but then they'll go out and I'll see their first set in like a real setting, and they're good. They have 5 minutes that works, and they have there's so many little fundamental things that you figure out, or someone tells you eventually or whatever, but she's I think a really amazing teacher. But she's, she wasn't always the easiest laugh. She'd be the DJ or whatever. But the point is I bombed hard and I'm leaving. And she kind of was like, hey, you know what? You'll be fine. Something like that. It wasn't like, hey, you're talented, stick with it. It wasn't like a compliment that was like it, but it was, it was incredibly empowering. Like that kept me going. Like she said I'd be fine. She said I'd be fine.
Yeah, like this thing.
And it was so low key, and it was like, it didn't imply like you're not going to have to do work. She's like, you're going to be fine. You'll be okay. You can, like,
you can
don't quit.
Yeah.
But also she wasn't like, she didn't need me to do it. She wasn't like, don't quit. She's like, yeah, you don't have to quit. And so yeah, whatever she said to me was really important. Yeah. And like a moment I was like, probably more important than doing well on my first show. Yeah.
Because sometimes that happens. So when you are going down and you when you have difficult situations and then you stand on them, so you overpass them.
Yeah.
Then it's when you can develop something.
Absolutely. I mean, that's everything, I think.
But you learn everything by yourself, or you did a stand-up comedian course, or just by listening?
Yeah, I mean, I approached it like, I don't think I've ever studied anything as rigorously as I studied stand-up.
Okay.
I went through, and that didn't mean I didn't take classes. There wasn't any classes really available to me. Mainly what I did was listen to pretty much every single stand-up album I could get.
Okay.
To stream.
And analyze it.
And then maybe listen to it again, or to break it down, or to try and learn it, or to focus on what was making things work or not work, and then I would get the chance to try those, and then simultaneously you have to learn about writing and performance. And I would take time, but I would watch a video, like someone's special, muted, to kind of think about hand gestures or movements, or like to focus on how that works.
Yeah.
Or, like I would see someone, I mean, and I would study my peers too. Like I remember the first time I saw Amelia Jane Hunter. It was very funny. And her diction, I was like, I want to hit consonants the way she hits consonants. Like, I feel like she's got jokes that are just because she's so good at, there's more to it than that. But I was and then, and I would for like a month, I would focus on something like syllabic emphasis, right? So I feel like you see this video of me from like August 2011 or 2014, and I'm just like, and then I went to the kitchen and made myself an omelette, and it's just because I want to see like, what does that make omelette fun? Omelette, Now I can't say it right, omelette, and then all of a sudden that joke works because you mispronounced it slightly, and so like because you have so few tools, it's not like if you're a musician, you're like, I should add the flute. And now I've got this other thing. It's like I've got a mic, maybe a stool, my face.
That's it.
Depending on like what they can see, maybe your body. So like I did that. I just was like, okay, let me do all of these things. Let me learn how to work on volume this week. And so then it's sort of like there are jokes I can do, or I can be humorous because I've I was like, I learned how to be like, I know some secrets about comedy. Hey everybody, and then like that's all you've got.
We did a comedy classes. Because we wanted to learn because on the Podfest, and we will talk about that later. I did. He was not there. I had to do the show by myself, and then I realized that knowing some elements of comedy would have helped a lot to doing a live podcast show. So a friend of us who does comedy here in Spanish in Berlin, he told me, guys, you need to join my class. And then we realized how a lot of those stuff can be learned because there's a structure, and then like, okay. And then he was like telling by examples with other comedians, okay, that's how you call that form of structure. Okay, so I realized, okay, those are things that can be learned, and that actually, for example, can even work in the regular life, for example, at work or by giving a keynote about something. So I find it like quite interesting.
We also have to do this 5 minutes
open mic.
How'd it go?
Well, I haven't done it yet, so
he still has to do it. I don't know if I will do it
in Spanish.
In Spanish,
or Irish.
But in general, you need a lot of courage to go to the stage. And to try to
make people laugh.
It's not
the same as playing the guitar, because
at least that's maybe how we see it.
No. I'm super jealous of musicians. It's like no matter what you did, you played the song and now it's over, and they clap like you did the thing. Right? Like you can produce an artwork, like a painter. Once they finish the painting, they don't even have to show it to anyone. They're a painter. They made a painting.
Yeah.
I'm gesturing.